Jayaguru. Sankirtan Stottra Mandana. Om Brahmanandam Parama Sukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurti Dvandatitam Gagana Satrusam Tattvamsya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Bimala Macharam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Rahitam Sadguru Tam Namami. Jayaguru ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଆମର ଆଜି ଏଟା ବୋଧେ ଲିପୁନ ଆମର 15ତମ ଅଧିବେଶନ ନା
14 ଭାଇ ଆମର ଗୋଟେ ଦିନ ଆମର ଡବଲ ରିପିଟ୍ ହେଇଥିଲା
ଆଚ୍ଛା. Now we reached by the grace of Thakur Maharaj and his Krupa we reached 14 session of this our Nigam Swadhyay group, and all the kids are doing fantastic seva, and also discussion is going on very nicely. Our Gyana Bhai also doing all discussion very nicely, so everybody is enjoying, and also we are also getting some knowledge. As Kunal is traveling today, so I got an opportunity to do this seva. So by Thakur Maharaj's Krupa and all of your cooperation, we will do this today. And so now first we'll start the recapping. So today's recap will Jagannath Das from Hyderabad Saraswati Sangha. So without delay we'll start the recapping for the yesterday what we have read. So Jagannath, just start it.
Joy Guru. Yesterday we learned all about the previous life of Thakurjee as Brahmananda Giri. During his childhood, as Braj Gopal, he visited a place with his friend and over there was bitten by a scorpion. A prostitute over there helped him by applying herbal ointment on his wound. Braj Gopal and the prostitute spoke for a while, and he revealed he belonged to Bhagahata and his late father is Sivasambhu Bhattacharya. The woman, knowing this, started crying uncontrollably. Braj Gopal was confused, and later on the woman revealed that she is her mother and had not left him but was forcibly taken. Braj Gopal became emotional but happy at the same time meeting his mother. The next day, the woman committed suicide by putting all the property on Braj Gopal's name. Braj Gopal was heartbroken and thought about his misfortune. He decided to take sannyas and left everything in Kashi. He went to Kumbh Mela and met Madhavananda Giri, who accepted him as his disciple. He started severe austerity and became an expert in scriptures. After he bestowed with monkhood, his guru named him as Brahmananda Giri. Later on, he went to Tantric Nagabhata to learn Tantric Sadhana. Tantric Tripurananda initiated him to Kalachara Sadhana. Whenever Brahmananda Giri used to meditate, he faced many problems. Once, some yoginis who said that they were in direct communion with the mother. They even confronted Brahmananda by saying that mother said your mantra has flaws in it and gave him a bay leaf with a mantra written over it. Brahmananda threw the bay leaf and told them, my guru's mantra can never be wrong. Mother has no right to become guru. Later on, King Vikram Rai made arrangements for Brahmananda to perform his meditation and tantric activities. Prior to this, he even travelled Sripur and tried his luck at Kamakhya temple. When he was driven out by mother from place to place, he entered the hollow stomach of a dead elephant and meditated there. In spite, he had various illusions. Sometimes he saw his mother Digambari Devi, or sometimes an old woman asking him to change his mantra. One final night he met mother and asked him, what does he want? Brahmananda expressed that the sorrow faced by his mother was because of her and he wants to marry her so that she faces the same. Mother told that this needs to be established on Sivatva and then she will take birth at the bank of Gomati to fulfill his desire. He said, Brahmananda Giri Mahendra Tanaya Bhaktamrutan Ichhati. Then he asked her to carry the stone slab and follow him. She cautioned him that he cannot ask for any other favor. After walking a few distance, he rose because the stone slab was floating on air. When they reached Ramana Kali temple, he asked mother to wait. The slab fell and mother told, I have kept my promise and left. Years went by, and one day when Brahmananda wanted to meet the landlord of the village when near bank of Gomati, he saw a beautiful young woman who was rowing the boat. The woman spoke to him mischievously and convinced him to visit her house and meet the landlord next day. She revealed that her name was Parvati and by caste she is a fisherwoman. When they reached her house, she gave him a bucket of water and asked him to cook his own food since she was not of his caste. Then suddenly she said, Brahmananda Giri, Girindratanaya Bhaktramrutam Ichhati, and also said that Nityabhasa Jagan Murt. Brahmananda understood who she was and asked her, why did she take birth in other caste since she has to marry her? She laughed and said, I have no caste. The next day, she gave him gold coins and to give it to the landlord so that he could marry her. After many conversations and conditions, they got married and the couple lived a happy life. Parvati also made the condition that he will never be rude to her. Within few years, they had a son and a daughter. Parvati took care of the finance and he forgot about his sannyas and duty towards mankind. One day, Purnananda, disciple of Brahmananda Giri, came to meet him. He realized how mother is performing her divinity. He spoke to her and said within few days she will set him free. He promised her and left. One night, when Brahmananda was taking dinner, he could smell the frying of hilsa fish. He, knowing her power, asked to get some. After he ate, she told him that she bought it from the Muslim house in the neighbor. Brahmananda Giri face became red and slapped her because she fed him the food from a Muslim house. Parvati rose and started trembling uncontrollably. Brahmananda realized his mistake and had broken his promise. Parvati told him not to cry and asked him to engage in sadhana again. She asked him to give away their child to the landlord, either some money. After performing a funeral rites, he left for Durgapur. The children were settled later in life. Brahmananda Giri continued his sadhana and after some years he died and was buried according to the Sannyasi Sampradaya. And in his life, the famed Brahmananda Giri had become Nalinikanta Bhattacharya and again Nigamananda. Jayaguru.
Thank you, Jaganmai. Very nice reading. Voice also is very good, clear. Okay. So now we'll proceed further for our next session. Now, Janoi Jayaguru, welcome once again. So, yesterday result is declared by Premadama and Prabasi Bhai. So yesterday, Premadama just used tell for the.
Yeah, okay, Bhai. Yeah, Jayaguru everyone. So yesterday we got 50 responses, out of which there were 15 were like they received correct answers, 5 out of 5. And we got the quickest performer. They are Namrata Dasma from Hyderabad Sangha, Diksha Aradhanama from Kendra Sevaka Sangha, and Shivani Dasma from Ekamra Sangha. So congratulations to you all. And wish you will do the same in the coming sessions also.
Yeah, congratulations all three. So they are doing good. So just clap for them. Okay. So next we'll start the reading. So today is Swadhyay from Burla Saraswat Sangha, Kumari Tiswa Pandama. You are ready?
Jayaguru Bhai.
You start it from where we start, from yesterday we left, you start today.
Jayaguru to all Bhai and Maa, Heritage of India and Swami Nigamananda. Page number 857. Nigamananda was astonished and was spellbound listening to his previous life story, but had no doubt as it was coming from Yogi Guru Sri Sumeru Das Ji. Taught by sage Sumeru Das Ji, Nigamananda started learning Nadi Sodhan, cleaning of inner physical passages, asan to be comfortable in a particular posture for hours together, pranayama controlling the breath according to Yoga Shastra. Quickly, he started moving towards perfection. Sumeru Das Ji explained and taught different types of yogas, and Nigamananda acquired knowledge about yoga in totality. He came to know about phases of yoga described as Ashtanga Yoga Sadhana. Yama, Niyam, Asana, Pranayama, the physical practices, and Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi as mental practices. He also learned about 15 organs of yoga to be practiced in a phased manner as described by sage Patanjali. Nigamananda had already known those theories through Jnana Marga. Now he practiced those kriyas through Yoga Marga to move nearer to self-realization. Sumeru Das Ji did never hesitate to show his tremendous affection he had for Nigamananda. He called him Guru Charan and used this name for him throughout his stay there. After 3 months, one day, Sumeru Das Ji told Nigamananda, "Now you must leave this place. You need to take rich food like milk, ghee for your next phase of yogic practice. You should go to the plain land where it is available." Nigamananda expressed his doubt, saying, "Who will help me in an atmosphere of distrust prevailing in our society?" Sumeru Das Ji assured him that help will reach him whenever he would require it. Nigamananda, knowing Sumeru Das Ji well, had no reason to doubt his words. Nigamananda paid his respect to Guru Sumeru Das Ji and with folded hands begged permission to leave. Sumeru Das Ji accompanied him to the nearest basti and blessing him he departed for his cave. The people of the basti had searched the forest for him when Nigamananda was gone. Not finding him, they thought perhaps some mishap had taken place. Now, getting Nigamananda back, they became very happy and the occasion called for a celebration. Before Sumeru Das Ji bade Nigamananda farewell, he specifically guided him to work unceasingly to re-establish the values of Sanatan Dharma by departing Brahmagyana among the masses. Throughout his life, Nigamananda obeyed the command of his Yogi Guru without fail. Remaining at the basti for few days, Nigamananda returned to Brahmakunda, and from there he travelled to the land of Bengal with a group of devotees returning from Parsuram Tirth. During his return journey, Nigamananda reached Haripur, village of Pabna district. He spent the night in a temple at Haripur. In the early morning, the landlord of the village, Sri Sarada Prasad Singh, arrived at the temple and said to him, "May I know who you are and why you are here?" Nigamananda told him that he is a sannyasi and had come here in search of someone who would help him. When Nigamananda asked him why he had asked such questions. Sarada Prasad replied that yesterday night a tall, stoutly built sannyasi came in my dream, told me that his disciple is taking rest in village temple and directed me to help his disciple. He said, if you do so, you will be greatly benefited. Sarada Prasad requested Nigamananda to come to his house and promised him to do whatever is required for his practice of yoga. Nigamananda agreed and thought his guru is so benevolent that he is making all necessary arrangements for him without he praying him for anything. He paid his respect to his guru silently and proceeded with Sarada Prasad to the landlord's house. Reaching the house of the landlord, Nigamananda requested him not to disclose before anybody about the purpose of his stay here. Sarada Prasad agreed, and as he was a wealthy landlord, it was no problem for him to make necessary arrangements for Nigamananda's yogic practice. Staying at Sarada Prasad's house, Nigamananda started performing Sat Sadhana of Hatha Yoga as directed by Guru Sumeru Das Ji. The next step was to perform Laya Yoga. Practice of Sat Sadhana is necessary prior to practice of Laya Yoga, which includes taking water through the nose to clean the air passage and then to swallow a piece of cloth and vomiting it out for cleaning of stomach and being submerged in a pool, taking in and expelling water through anus by a special yoga mudra to clean the interior of the body. Nigamananda carried out these yogic activities without anyone's interruption. Then he started practicing asana for hours together. In order to strengthen his spine, he made a wooden staff enter into the earth and bound his body to it, practicing asana for hours. This phase of yoga requires much energy, and for that the sadhak has to take rich food. Sarada Prasad made arrangement of ghee, milk, butter to be delivered to Nigamananda on daily basis. Nigamananda continued his practice without hindrance for 9 months, till the news of his yogic practice leaked out to the public. People started coming him with questions about yoga and with requests to teach them yoga. He answered their questions but declined politely their request to teach yoga, saying, I'm not an expert in yoga, so how can I teach you? But people came and bothered him with 1,000 questions. Observing this, Sarada Prasad gave strict orders to his men to guard and ensure his privacy. He built a tub made of cement and bricks for him to practice dhoti. For a few more months, Nigamananda had no problem. But one day, an incident occurred which forced him to take the decision of leaving the place. He wrote a letter for Sarada Prasad, thanking him for his unconditional help and praying God for his well-being, left the place without being noticed by anybody. From there, passing through Sirajganja, he travelled to Guwahati. He decided to go to Kamaru, knowing pious-minded people gathered there at time near Kamaksha temple. As he can never ask anybody for help, he hoped maybe some gentleman will come forward on his own to help him. He reached Guwahati with a mind to visit Kamakhya. He was walking on the road when he heard somebody calling him. He looked in the direction of the voice and found a gentleman sitting on the veranda of his house calling him. At first, Nigamananda wanted to avoid him, but decided otherwise and went near him. The gentleman said, "Oh, young sannyasi, where are you headed for?" Nigamananda kept his cool in spite of insulting tone. In gentleman's call and replied that he is going to Kamaksha. The gentleman said, "Stay here in my house for a day. Next morning you can leave for Kamaksha." Nigamananda reluctantly agreed. The gentleman seemed to be a man of means, who directed his servant to clean a room for Nigamananda's stay. Nigamananda kept his meager belongings in that room and went to take a bath. After taking bath, he was reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita when the gentleman on his way to office came to him. Finding him reading Gita, the gentleman asked, "Have you formed the habit of reading Gita every day?" Nigamananda replied affirmatively. The gentleman asked, like an expert on Gita, "Do you read on your own, or someone has taught you to read the Gita with proper interpretation?" Nigamananda said, "My Guru has taught me to read Gita along with its interpretation." The gentleman asked, "Now tell me the meaning of Jatsya hi dhrubam mrita dhrubam janma mritatsa." He continued, "If one has to die after taking birth, and if one is sure to take birth after death, then what value is there in reading Gita? I was reading Gita daily, but when I came to know the meaning of this sloka, I have stopped reading Gita." Nigamananda calmly explained, "You are correct about the meaning of this sloka, but if one takes shelter under Sadguru, he will be greatly benefited, as his Guru is sure to explain him that only the physical body of the real self dies and again takes birth. The self is never born and can never die. This truth will move the disciple upward in the path of spiritualism, which untimely will save him from circle of birth and death." The gentleman seemed to be surprised and said, "No one has ever explained this to me in this manner. I am leaving for office now, but please do not go away. When I come back, we can discuss again the subject." Nigamananda agreed and smiled to himself, finding a shade of respect in gentleman's tone. The gentleman's name was Mr. Jangeshwar Biswas, who was the additional commissioner of Guwahati. Sri Jageshwar Biswas and his wife Saraju Devi had no children and were good religious-minded people. Jageshwar Biswas, as a highly placed, responsible government officer, had served in Bengal and Odisha on various capacities. The couple were financially sound and had no problem with anyone. In the evening, when Jangeshwar returned from office, he sat with Nigamananda and inquired about his purpose behind his visit to Kamaksha. Nigamananda told him about his purpose, and Jangeshwar Biswas immediately requested him to stay at his house and promised him that he personally will make sure all necessary arrangements for his yogic practice. By the time he proposed this, Jageshwar had grown enough respect for the young sannyasi, which was evident from his way of talking. Nigamananda accorded his consent. Nigamananda again resumed practicing yoga in Mr. Biswas' house. Childless Saraju Devi got chance of a lifetime to take care of Nigamananda like her own son. The affection stored through years in her erupted, and she showered it on the young sannyasi, who, according to age, was like her son. Slowly, Nigamananda moved upward in yoga sadhana. He had already completed the outer organs of yoga. Now, he concentrated on the important inner sadhana. As taught by Guru Sumeru Das Ji, Nigamananda explained to Saraju Devi the method of getting back to normal condition for a sadhak to help him return from samadhi. First time, Nigamananda asked Saraju Devi to bring him to normalcy after 24 hours of samadhi. Nigamananda, sitting still in the yogic posture, went to samadhi. After 24 hours, Saraju Devi, as explained by him earlier, massaged butter on his tongue, forcing it out from his palate with a silver spoon, and fed him milk with the help of a piece of cloth. Nigamananda returned to normalcy by her service, but afterwards felt weakness for 4 to 5 days. Next time, requesting Saraju Devi to bring him back to normalcy after 3 days, he went to Samadhi. This time, Saraju Devi had to work hard to bring him back to normalcy. After a few days, he again asked her to allow him to go into Samadhi for 7 days. Within this period, Nigamananda became perfect in Samprajanta Samadhi or Sabija Samadhi. This time, he was able not only to control his metabolism or functioning of inner organs, but was also able to acquire complete knowledge about 7 spheres of universe. Then he went beyond his physical parameter and directly visualized the creation. He went a step ahead of it and acquired knowledge about the reason behind creation and the truth hidden under variety of names, shape, dimensions, and color. He became satisfied but wanted to go beyond that. Saraju Devi, watching him every moment, was counting days. After 7 days, she tried her best to bring him back to normalcy but failed. Jangeshwar, returning from office, also tried, but Nigamananda could not revert back to normalcy. The couple had never seen anybody in Samadhi before, and a person surviving without food and water for 7 days was beyond their conception. Saraju Devi panicked and started shedding tears. The worried Jangeshwar immediately sent for a doctor. The doctor was astonished to find Nigamananda sitting still, without breathing and without any heartbeat. After some hours of nursing, they somehow became successful in bringing him back to normalcy. After becoming normal, he came to know about the plight of the couple for not being able to bring him back to normalcy. He was obliged to them for their selfless service and could imagine the situation he had put them into. For that, he decided to reach the level Asampranyat or Nirvikalpa Samadhi somewhere away from their house. He was not concerned of what will happen to him, but he was not prepared to make his benefactors worried. Without informing them, he went to Kamakhya. There, he met one Nityananda Swami and disclosed before him his intention behind coming to Kamakhya Hill. Nityananda Swami tried to persuade him not to take such a risk and told him, "You have already achieved enough. Few yogis reach the level which you have attained. No one without the desire of God returns from Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Why take such a dangerous risk?" Though Nigamananda did not argue with him, he decided that let it come what it may. He would try for Nirvikalpa Samadhi. If he dies traveling in the path leading to absolute reality, he had nothing to lose. He found a lonely spot behind Bhubaneswari temple on Kamakhya Hill, which was suitable for his purpose, and decided to come next day for the ultimate achievement in yoga. Next morning, he took his bath early and came to the spot he had selected. He knew that it may not become possible for him to return. In other words, he may die, but he did not care. He in past had availed the sight of truth in the form of Mother of Universe, traveling through Tantra. Then, through knowledge, he had moved nearest to truth in a subtle manner. Now, he wanted to cross the last frontier, to realize the truth, which is the cause of creation, sustenance, and dissolution. He wanted to experience the Sthula, Sukma, and current existence of God. If, for that, a heavy price is to be paid, he was prepared to bear it. Nigamananda sat still in the yogic posture. He started expanding his existence of I, which gradually covered the entire universe. His mind became so close to the external world, and his I-ness, ego, started expanding quickly. He felt he was leaving his body.
Shall we stop here at Tisha?
Jayaguru Bhai.
Because now it is another one paragraph will start, that is some different chapter. So we'll stop here. So very nice reading and very sweet voice with your all the action is very nice. So thank you very much and congratulate. Very sweet. Okay. So now we have got some questions, bank of questions. So we'll start it. So we have Gyanoi with us. So Gyanoi, please, we'll start the discussion.
Yes.
The answers.
Yeah, please read the questions. I have no access.
Okay. So actually, we started after first question started from Pune, Tansen Bhai. What is Parsuram Tirtha?
Parsuram Tirtha is a pious religious site where it's in Arunachal Pradesh, pretty close to Chinese border. It is said that if you know who Parsuram is, Parsuram one time, because his father asked him to kill his mother, he goes and kills his mother with his Parsu. And that Parsu, after he does that, which is a heinous act, his Parsu gets stuck to his hand. So he goes from various religious sites and takes a bath and try to get rid of the Parsu because it was stuck to his hand, it was not coming out. And this is the Tirtha, or the religious site, where once he took a bath, his axe Parsu fell off his hand. So that's why it is considered a very pious place for our religion.
Thank you, Gyanoi. Very nicely explained. Next, the question is, what is Layoj Yoga? Same Tansen Bhai asked.
Yes.
Yoga.
Thakur had divided yoga into 4 parts in Jayaguru. I'm recollecting from my memory. So if I get anything wrong, Ravi Bhai and others, please jump in. So it is Raja Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Mantra Yoga, and Laya Yoga. Those are the 4. Laya Yoga, Thakur says it's probably the easiest and recommends us to follow that, where you practice certain, there is a method of practice in Laya Yoga, which points or basically gets you focused on your deity or what you want to, what we call in yoga as dheya. And end of that, every process like yoga and jnana and all that have a trinity. Here you'll say dhyana, dhyata, dheya. Dhyata is somebody who is actually meditating. Dhyana is the process of meditation, and dheya is who that dhyata is focusing on. So ultimately with Laya Yoga, all 3 becomes one. With any yoga, ultimately that's where we go, but the processes are different by which yoga you are talking about. Thakur also mentions there are many other types of yogas, but primarily these are the 4 types.
Thank you. Because what was main is Laya Yoga is the actual main. All the whether the 4 yoga, not that Laya Yoga is main. Mantra Yoga means only that is a chatting, no, bhai.
Well,
if you chant more,
Yeah,
Because
Mantra Yoga had chanting, but it also has a lot of specificity into the mantra, and you have to have a setu, you have to correct mantra dosa and stuff like that, where Lord Yoga you don't.
no, what are doing the japa, all the things when we are doing the japa.
I mean, the ones we do, it is Thakura's own, and it doesn't follow just yoga or tantra or jnana. It takes a combination of all the sadhanas he had. That's why if you go to Nilachala, he says, this is my own, the process that he has told us. Like Ravi Bhai, you and I have gone through Purusharana, and others who have done it or they're trying to. If you read through the process, even people who just do class puja and they teach them very basics of that, it brings Thakura's expertise, which is in Tantra, Yoga, and everything else. So it borrows some from Tantra, some from Yoga, and puts it together. So you can't say it is Mantra Yoga.
Yeah, it's very clear. It's very clear.
Yes. He says it very clearly in Nilachala that this is my own. So nobody else does it in that same process. Him being master of all these different sadhanas, he came up with his own sadhana for his disciples. Even though he has gone through the classical yoga, in this case Hatha Yoga, and he has done Raja Yoga also, and these other things.
So that in that Jayaguru also written, without dedication or without any process, if you do the chanting also, it will not reach to that mantra yoga, because it will not reach that level.
You don't bear fruit.
So you have to know that process and also dedication, like nishtha. What we are telling in Oriya, nishtha, you should have nishtha in that.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. And next question is our Braja Kishore Behera Bhai asked, what is dhoti?
Dhoti.
Neti dhoti, I think that question. Neti dhoti is there. No, that third sadhana.
Right.
I think from third sadhana he is asking neti dhoti is there. No, so dhoti, what is dhoti?
Right. Dhoti is a process in Hatha Yoga where you basically swallow a piece of cloth, and then there is a process you do where that cloth goes into your stomach and cleans it, and then you vomit it out. That is dhoti, best of my knowledge. Somebody else knows better. You can. So there are 6 different things. There, neti, you basically take water through your nose. Very popular in US nowadays, by the way. Even the white allopathic doctor have no background in Sanatana Dharma. They are asking their patients, if you have a sinus problem or you have allergy and all that, just do neti. Neti pots available, and it's. I mean, sometimes you see that and say, okay, our rishis and seers, they knew this long time ago, and now it is coming to Western world, and everybody is trying to do that.
Putting one thread inside the nose and just doing it and cleaning.
That's part of neti. And some of your parents, the youngs here, you may see them early morning, them taking a glass of water and
Nasapana.
Nasapana.
That is called Nasapana.
Yeah. Which clears your upper and lower respiratory tract, and then makes it sure that you don't catch cold very easily, which is a plus.
No, that is a plus point. If you will do continuously, you will not get no cold anytime, never. So we should do it. That all the kishores.
In Kishore Puja also they practice.
I used to start giving training. That is the past basic training.
Yes. So one thing I want to emphasize, Priyamadama said something really good. That is in our Kishore Puja, which is coming up this Friday, I think Adhivas, or next Friday, they teach Nasapana. What Thakur has said, there are some yogic process we can do without following this difficult hot yoga, like Ravi Bhai was describing, putting a thread in one nostril and then cleaning the nostril and getting it out of that sounds very painful. That's very painful. But Thakur had said, you can do Nasapana, and there is another Kriya that people learn when they join class puja. That will take care of that particular part. It's not that difficult.
Thank you, bhai. Next, the question is our Devasis Mate asked, what is Samadhi?
Bhai, Samadhi is, if you go back to the reading here, it says there are 8 limbs of yoga, Jama, Niyama.
We'll start just also, Priyamdama asked, what is that Ashtanga Yoga short brief? She asked short brief.
Anybody has that question, or it's just Priyamdama's question?
Priyamdama,
I asked for them only.
Oh, okay. I know, you know this. So,
no, bhai, I mean, we also understand from you.
no, we'll start from that, then 8th will reach in Samadhi.
8th is Samadhi. So let me go through very quickly, as Priyamadama suggested in our other channel. So Jama and Niyama, those two are sometimes in class in yoga, other than Patanjali yoga, is not considered part of yoga. But let's just assume we follow Yoga Sutra, Patanjali Yoga. Thakur has followed it, written it in Yogi Guru. So it starts with Jama, which means purification of your internal organs. So it has 5 parts: Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha. So I'm saying everything from memory, so I could miss one or two, please correct me. So Ahimsa is basically non-violence. Once you practice non-violence and you perfect it, what happens, according to Yoga Sutras by Patanjali, and Thakur has supported that, everybody else will give up violence towards you. So good example is Gandhiji. A lot of people cite him as who practiced Ahimsa and probably perfected it. So the story goes like this: one day Gandhiji went to the field to do his morning rituals, doing what you do in the morning. And one of his disciples was watching from the window. He walked with a little, pot of water, and she sees there's a snake standing there with the hood pointed up. That means they're ready to strike. So she got really worried, and she could not shout and reach to Gandhiji because he was a little bit further away. And then as soon as Gandhiji comes closer, that snake goes away. So that signifies Gandhiji probably was established in Ahimsa. So everybody else will give up their violence towards you. Satya, basically telling the truth. Our scripture allows certain situations where not telling the truth is okay, but most cases you should tell the truth. Thakur had said repeatedly that even chola, trying to, get people to trick, you should not lie. And Thakur has emphasized on that. So if you do that and perfect it, then whatever you say becomes true. So you are practicing truth. End of practicing truth is something comes out of your mouth that becomes true. So I'm not going to go this detail into the rest of them. Asteya is essentially not stealing. Brahmacharya is really protecting your sensory organs, not to violate them. Some define it as Brahmacharati iti Brahmacharya, people who are pointed toward Brahman, but generally believe that's what it is. And Aparigraha. Aparigraha is whatever is needed to sustain your life, accepting that and rejecting everything else is Aparigraha. And if you understand what happens, you perfect Aparigraha, you become Sarvagyanta. So that's Jama. Then Niyama, Jama Niyama. Niyama is Saucha, Santosa, Tapasya, Swadhyaya, Ishwara Pranidhana. Those are the 5. So Saucha means cleaning up your body. So you should not smell bad. You should take a bath every day, every morning, etc. If you did a lot of exercise, maybe take another bath because that will make your body clean. Santosh, always be happy. When you get difficulties, something bad happened to you, try to understand why that thing happened and still try to be happy. Tapasya, basically take the extremities and not get disturbed by that. Swadhyaya, we are just doing that now. Reading about Thakura, reading about other religious books, discussing religious the stuff with other people, spiritual books, I would rather say. And last one is Ishwar Pranidhana, praying God. So the morning prayer, evening prayer you do, that goes as Ishwar Pranidhana. So those are Jamaniyama. Then asana. Asana is basically sitting in a posture. You guys might have seen people sitting on Padmasana or Virasana. Your parents maybe after a meal they sit with their legs going back, or when you do prayer sometimes we sit in Virasana like that. Thakura defines asana as you sit in a posture, and once you perfect it, you could sit for an hour without any disturbances in your mind, feeling good about it. It's said your asana is established, and that particular asana. Asana pranayam. Pranayam is essentially controlling your breathing, and there are a lot of things. What happens when you at least perform pranayam? Then pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Those four are considered. These first four are something you have to do physically. Actually, Jama is not physical. That's what it's written in this book. The other four is all mental. Pratyahara is essentially when you sit in a asana and you think of Thakura, let's say, what you'll find initially when you sit there, your mind goes into 100 different places. The process of realizing that your mind left, bringing that mind back to what you're trying to do, that process is pratyahara. Dharana. So when you keep doing that time and time again, then you will see that particular time where you keep your focused mind on Thakura increases. That is, once it increases to a point, that is dharana. Then dhyana, when that increase becomes complete, that your mind is not actually going anywhere. Then samadhi, which was the question. Now we're coming to samadhi. And samadhi is, I talked about this dhyana, dhyata, dheya. There are three components. Dhyata is somebody who is meditating, dheya is what he's meditating upon, and dhyana is the process of meditation. When those three starts merging into one, is called samadhi. There are different types of samadhi. Here we talked about sampragyanta samadhi and asampragyanta samadhi, sabikalpa and nirvikalpa.
Yeah, that question also came, sampragyanta samadhi and asampragyanta samadhi.
Let's just answer it now and then we can skip over that question.
Yeah, please.
The sabikalpa samadhi or sampragyanta samadhi, they're just two different words. One in Jnana Marga, one is Yoga Marga. So what that means is you achieved the merger of these three entities, three things. However, you exist. That actually remains. That the dhyata, even though is completely merged within dhyana and dheya, still has little bit of this thing that dhyata is so and so. I am Jnana Dibedi and I am doing this dhyana. So that knowledge still remains. That's what sampragyanta samadhi is, or sabikalpa samadhi is. The nirvikalpa samadhi, all those merges, you lose your identity. It's all Brahma at that point, nirvikalpa samadhi. And then once you completely merge with Brahma, then nothing really remains, unless the grace of Brahma, they want you to come back and do something in this world for him, then you come back, which is what we just read at the end. Lot of discussion, sorry, took long, but this probably takes care of some of the questions, Rabbi, I think.
No, it's a good, actually clear for everybody. It will be everybody for clear, and because we started from that Ashtanga Yoga, from Jama Niyam to starting the Samadhi, and in that Socha, just I want to add one line. We discussed about the Socha means like Bhai Socha, like taking the bath and other things. But main is we have to take care of Antar Socha also, inside the cleaning. So inside cleaning, how we'll do, like our what Thakurji has given our daily routine, like dhyana, dharana, all the things. So all we will do, it will have our internal cleaning. That also very important part, and very good and clear all the things. And also one bhai asked Bhavani Prasad Patra bhai why they failed to echo him from Samadhi, because when we went for Sabikala Samadhi, then why Sarojima failed to echo him from Samadhi to 7 days. He told no, after 7 days you have to just wake up. Why he failed? She failed. Dhyan bhai.
Yeah. So Thakur has never said why they failed. We don't know exactly. It is possible that Thakur gave such certain instructions and she might have not followed it to the dot. It's also possible, remember, Thakur sat in one posture, I assume in Padmasana, for 7 days straight. Okay? So that long needed some more time probably for him to come back. She might have panicked after a couple of hours that Thakur is not coming back. And then when the doctor came, doctor found no pulse, no breathing, but Thakur is sitting in a posture not falling. So when a person dies, their body becomes stiff and they cannot stay in a posture, they will fall. That's a natural state. So she was actually a lady doctor. She was extremely surprised that this is happening. And these guys kept telling that, hey, we have done 3 days, we have done 1 day. Yeah, this is how he appears. But after doing this, he always comes back into life. So then she believes them and tries more things, and then Thakur comes back to life.
Yeah, perfect. Then Smita Pondama is asking that, I think Riddhima is, what truth did Thakur acquire about color and names? Can I got the questions? What truth did Thakur acquire about color and names?
Color and names.
I'm just getting confused about this question.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I ask them to explain that. We can move to next question and come back.
Smitama, if you explain a little bit, then we'll be clear. We were getting the confusion of the question. Then Devashish Mahadev asking why Nirvikalpa is dangerous.
I mean, one way you can say dangerous, one way you can say no. That's what Thakur wanted, and a lot of people who come back from Nirvikalpa, they want it too. It's dangerous in the sense that once you achieve Nirvikalpa, you lose the identity of who you are. You don't come back. Only people who come back, they come back because Jagadguru or Brahma in that sense wanted them to be back. Otherwise they won't come back. So that's why it is called dangerous. So Nityananda Swami told Thakura, don't do that because of this danger, that you may not come back. But for you to come back to that body, because he left the body and went, you don't need anybody's help. Thakura didn't need Sarojima to come and do all this stuff he told them to do. So that's why he was in a very desolate place, and he sat there, went, achieved Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Like Thakura himself describes, he did not know how long it was. So there may be a question. So Nirvikalpa Samadhi was
For 7 days.
7 days. So Nirvikalpa Samadhi, how many days he sat there? We don't know. It was, Thakura himself says, I do not know how long it was.
Then Bhavan, it's clear. Devashish Mahadev, I think it will clear for you.
Jayaguru Bhai, so if Riddhi had not retyped the question, so I got what she mean is from that question.
Yeah,
so we read under this chapter, when Thakura sat on this Sabikalpa Samadhi, it says he went a step ahead of it and acquired knowledge about the reason behind creation and the truth hidden under variety of names, shape, dimensions and color. Maybe she's asking that. Which names and color?
It's probably pointing to what we call in Odia Nama Rupa. So Brahma, once Brahma, creates the world, takes different Nama, different Rupa, different color. So once you achieve the unification with Brahma, then you realize what they are.
So basically, I think, that's what. I think when he had written, right, when he crossed the locus, different locus, he found out how the locus is formed and all, right? Maybe he points to that.
Yes.
He got the knowledge about all the locus in Sabhikalpa Samadhi.
Right. Sabhikalpa Samadhi was 7 days for a region. There are 7 locus. He spent 1 day on each of the locus. He says that in some other book that I have read. It was not on the reading too.
Okay. Next question is Bhavan Prasad Bhai asks, why no one without desire of God cannot return from Nirvikalpa Samadhi?
Actually, I don't want to say if you don't have desire for God, you won't return. They all have desire for God when they sit on Nirvikalpa Samadhi. It's that if God, in this case Brahma, I want to distinguish that because God is Bhagavan in mostly. Brahma has no reason to send the person back to earth in their old self. They do not come back. So I'll bring up a little bit of Ramakrishna mission here. When Vivekananda was just getting to know Ramakrishna, one day he said, have you seen Ma Kali? Can you show me Ma Kali? He said, yeah, I have seen him. I seen her and I can show that to you. That's one. Then once he started, living his household, came there and he's learning different things. At one point he says, I want you to show me how to get to Nirvikalpa. And he says, no, your time hasn't come. Your time hasn't come. Now he kept on insisting, won't leave the old man alone, and kept saying. Then he was sitting in his meditation posture. Ramakrishna comes and touches his hand. And immediately he gets a flash of it. And Ramakrishna removes it. He comes back to earth. And he says, oh, it was such a wonderful experience. Why did you bring me back? He says, do not ask me to do that again. This is just a little flash. Because once you achieve that, you are not going to come back. Ramakrishna Paramahansa, however, did come back from Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And there are others also who have come back. There's some uniqueness to Thakura that he came back as a guru. And his only purpose is to really show us to that path of salvation. But there are other people who have come back from Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and Ramakrishna Paramahansa being one. And it is said, we do not know for sure, that at 39 years of age, Vivekananda decides to give up his body in Rameswaram. He sits in a meditation posture, most likely achieved Nirvikalpa Samadhi and never came back. His work in this world was done. He introduced Sanatana Dharma to Western world, and he established Ramakrishna Mission and all that stuff that we know that organization possesses and distributes to this world. And once that was done, his work was done. So he, as it is said, I have heard from others, that he achieved Nirvikalpa Samadhi and never came back.
Yeah. Now again, same Bhavani Bhai asking, what is Karan? What is Karan, existence of God? Karana means like Stula, Sukma, Karana. Achha, what is Karana?
I think that is Karana Sarira.
Yeah, what is Karana, existence of Karana Sarira? What is Karana, existence of God? And Karana Sarira means
Karana
Sarira.
Yeah, Karana is basically a causal body, that there is a cause for creation of something. Karana, then Sukma, then Stula. Karana Sarira sometimes it's explained as a little bit of the seed. Very good way to explain that, that I have heard from, a lot of us have heard from Pramod Bhai. He gives this example all the time. Let's assume this structure that we know as Hirakud Dam.
Yeah, he used to give
he used to give Hirakud Dam as an example. It's a perfect example of those three things. In I think first or second 5-year plan that Nehru was implementing. And they were trying to build infrastructure for India after the independence and all that. And the coastal districts used to have flooding every year when the monsoon came, and there was no reprieve from it, and people used to lose life and crops and all that. So somebody came up with an idea that we could build a dam quite a bit upstream in Mahanadi, which we could control how much water is kept, how much water is released, such that we can control flooding. Great idea. As soon as that idea came to somebody's mind, the Charanashrita of Hirakud Dam, which by the way is the longest earthen dam in the world, still that thing it holds. So the Charanashrita was created. So now they hired an engineer, Visvesvaraya, to create the plan and build it. So Visvesvaraya came in a helicopter, looked at it, and then figured out what needs to happen and drew a picture of that in a piece of paper. That is a plan, Sukma Sarira. There's no dam yet. No flooding is controlled yet. But there is a plan to build a dam. That is your Sukma Sarira. And then they hired a bunch of people with trucks and stuff and bought a lot of, boulders and dirt and whatever. And then they built the dam. They created those gates so that they can control how much water comes. So that is your. Hopefully that explains.
Jayaguru Bhai. Next question is same Ridhima from Karnataka Sangha. She asked, how did Thakur spread his ego to the world?
Thakur has explained. Originally, it comes from a great book, Jibani and Bani, by Satyananda Saraswati Maharaj, Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. Thakur explains this way. He went and found this big piece of stone that if you guys go, Kunabhai has talked about it. Kunabhai always goes there. I plan to go someday. I've seen the place, but I've never been there on December 20th, which is our anniversary of creating that Nirvikalpa Sthala. It's a really huge stone. So Thakur went to that stone, sat there with his posture, whatever posture that he used. And then he assumed that he is sitting on that big stone and slowly expanded his ego, started thinking, now I see Kamakhya. So expand Kamakhya, I see Guwahati. Expand Guwahati, I see Assam. Expand Assam, I see Bharat. And expand that, I see this earth. Like that, he kept on expanding his ego, and end of that, when he achieved Nirvikalpa, everything got merged with Brahma. So Brahma, it is said that only one part of Brahma is expressed, which is this whole universe, and there are more parts. It's called 3 parts versus 1 part, which is Abhyakta. So he went and merged with this Abhyakta person, or which cannot be expressed. So that's when he achieved Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Can we sit here and start, as Riddhima sitting in Bangalore and say, I sit in Bangalore, I expand to Karnataka and all that? Probably not. You have to be, you have to achieve Nirvikalpa Samadhi first, before you can go through that expansion of ego and achieve that. But I said probably not, because
nowadays imagination will be easy because we can see everything in internet or TV, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? But to realize
somebody could achieve that, I don't know, but probably not.
Same. Now we are very clear about Nirvikalpa Samadhi that Tansen Bhai asked, that is already answered. So now what is short sadhana?
Short karma actually.
Yeah,
Short karma sadhana.
Hmm.
It says short sadhana. So person who asked the question is correct. But read Thakur's Jivani and other places, Thakur talks about that. There are 6 parts to it. From my memory, I cannot recite all of them. There's a Neti, Basti,
Neti Dhoti Basti.
Basti, and there are 3 others. I don't remember those. I'm sure Devasis
will be there, no? Kapalbhati.
I don't know Kapalbhati is part of it, but I'm sure Devasis Bhai is going to search in Google and post that in our,
Yeah, definitely will do now.
Or Sambit Bhai will come and explain everything. So.
So next we'll go for that Yamaniyam already completed. So Priyadarshini Ma asked, any method is any recommendation of meditation for kids in Thakur's book? How the kids will do the meditation? Any book is there?
I would recommend you to attend one of those Kishore Sangha that is happening next week. There they teach some very basic meditation that you can learn. But that Kishore Sangha, thing is only for male child, I believe, right? If you want a ma to do that, contact your Sangha Savapati. Through Savapati, go to Kendra and get permission, what they give you. There are some very simple, basic meditations that anybody can do, and start with maybe 5 minutes and grow that slowly once you're feeling comfortable sitting on a posture. And they are very beneficial, and I will strongly recommend you do that, but get permission from Kendra to do it.
Good. Smita Pondama is explained about the Nirvikalpa one. As the word itself says, Nir means no and Vikal means option. Basically, no option is left other than dying on the path of sadhana. That is called Nirvikalpa. Thank you, Smita.
I won't say dying. That's such a strong word. I would not use that word. We explained that your identity merges with identity.
We can tell in Lina means just
Lina. Yes,
Lina.
Your identity merges.
We call Lina.
Yes,
just will mix.
That's what we said. And your body, in case of Thakur, his body was left on the big stone next to Bhubaneswari temple. If he did not come back, that body would have decayed. Body is not us. And
just to add one Santosh Bhai example, like when the river meets the ocean, the sea, so that is also the Antar Prasada.
Okay, that Antar Prasada, that is one example.
It merges you can't find river water at that point. It just Thakur also said, gave another example. This Santosh Bhai's example, a little bit on the bhakti side, and yoga jnana side, you say, Thakur has said this. You take a little idol made of salt and put that in a water or put that in sea. That salt thing just dissolves, right? You can't find that salt statue or idol. So it completely merged with that. So that's one of the way to kind of explain what Nirvikalpa Samadhi is.
Then next question is what is a Hatto Jog? I think we have discussed about the Hatto Jog. Hat means that sound of sun, and ha means the sound of sun, and that at means sound of moon. So both the sound is when coming mix, then it's called as a Hatto Yoga. Correct, no, Gyanavai?
Yeah.
So you want to add something in Hatto Yoga? Because
it is what Thakur has said in Yogi Guru. It's very difficult for people like us, the householders, to actually follow. There are Hatha Yogis, even you'll find them now. There are a lot of people who have followed Hatha Yoga and they have achieved perfection. But Thakur has recommended all of us not to go in that difficult path.
Yeah. Then we already completed Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Will our studies go to Swadhyaya? Tansen Bhai is asking.
Yes. What you are doing here, yes, it's part of Swadhyaya.
Yeah. Does reading the Parichaya Patra and lead to our Swadhyaya? He's asking again. Does reading the Parichaya Patra lead to our Swadhyaya? No.
It's a tiny Swadhyaya, because if you read Parichaya Patra, especially there are Thakur's advices, there are some rules to follow, and our promise, what we are going to do. Yes, why not? It is, but how long it takes for you to read Parichaya Patra? We, the Sangha Sevis, I'm not saying every student have to do that. People like us, we are asked to do at least 1 hour of Swadhyaya every day. So, yes, it is part of Swadhyaya, but you need a little bit more to sustain this.
Yeah, we discussed earlier also. Swadhyaya means Swadhyaya. To study yourself, study myself is called Swadhyaya. So what I read today, what I got, so if till implementation is there, then it will go as a Swadhyaya. So we have to do implementation. When we are studying, we have to understand and to do the implementation, and we have to put in the. So, then next question. Why Thakur worship Ma Tara? Why not Kali and Durga? Tushar Mahadev asking.
Simply, Thakura in his very Nalnikanta, very childhood days, Ma Durga was their deity. So, in people who follow Sakta, the Ma Durga comes in 10 different Dasa Mahavidya, 10 different forms. They are all the same. In this case, why Tara became Thakura's Ishtadevi is because the mantra he got and the guru he was sent to, Bhamakepa. Bhamakepa's deity Ishta was Tara, so Thakura's Ishta became Tara. But there is no difference between Tara and Durga per se.
The same said Tushar asking. During the 7 days, Atma was there in Thakur when he went for Nibligo Samadhi. So in the 7 days, Sabligo Samadhi, then that Atma was in with Thakur or not? He's asking.
Thakura is the Atma, the body is not Thakura.
Long question, long answer.
So the Advaitin inside me could not resist to answer the question that way.
Now Swami Arjya Gyanananda Saraswati is with us. Actually, he is in that YouTube channel, live YouTube channel. So he has given some comments about the questions. So yes, Tushar Bhai, for the 7 days, the soul is inside the body of Thakur Maharaj.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Swami ji, so for your comments. And also another comment has given. Thakur Maharaj worshipped Ma Tara because he was the adhikari of her worship from previous birth, and he got the Bija mantra of Tara by dream. So accordingly, he got the process of Diksha.
Yeah.
So Swamiji given very nice, clearly comment all the questions. So please go through this, all the questions, all the comments, and just so thankful. Just thanking you, Swamiji, for your comments, all the answers. Then we'll just go for next questions. Tushar Mahadev is asking. Yeah, because already 10, we'll complete it within 5 minutes. How long cloth need to shallow and vomit to clean inside will go to stomach? That about the neti he's asking, I think.
So Satkarma Sadhana Thakur did for about 6 months. Thakur stayed in Sarada Majumdar's house or in the garden for 9 months. First 6 months approximately was those Satkarma, and then he went into practicing Dhanadharana and all that.
Yes. So by 6 months.
No. Actually,
it was for
asking about the duration. I mean, if you take the cloth, then how many minutes or seconds it should be there in your stomach?
Oh, we don't know. None of us practice that.
Swamiji given one answer. For cleaning the cloth, length is 12 finger. It's up to nozzle. Path only not up to the stomach.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That part I knew. But how long that the cloth remains in your stomach, I do not know. There is a yogic process where you churn the stomach and it cleans it and you vomit it out.
Then Swami Saraswati, Gyanananda Saraswati given another answer about the Ridhima's question that Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga is the strict rules and procedures we perform upon our body and mind called as indriyas to master them.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the indriyas. Then Bhavani Patra Bhai is asking, Thakur's Nirvikal, everything got merged in Thakurjee. This means every single particle is from Thakurjee and is in Thakurjee.
What do you mean, every single particle?
Means it, I think he already merged with the when he went for Nirvikal Samadhi, he merged with
only Atma goes there, not the body or the suppository.
Yeah, he is asking, he is the only one and everyone. Everywhere
He's the only one and everyone and available in everywhere.
Yes, once you achieve that state, yes, that's true. As Brahma is everywhere.
And Swami Saraswati, Gyanananda Saraswati given the short karma, he has given the answer, Dhoti, Basti, Noli, Neti, Tratak, Kopalbhati, Abramhari. He has given the answer.
More than 6.
More than 6, one extra.
Bonus.
Bonus. So this is all the questions
Swami
now.
will explain why there is bonus. He's listening to this, so he will explain why there is bonus.
Yeah. We'll request Swamiji to come on in the line and just he'll explain us some things.
If you need that, talk to Kunabhai and
Yeah.
I can figure that out for you.
So now you have completed all the questions. So now it's time to...
Just wanted to add one thing. Tushar bhai, don't practice yourself. When you are asking so many questions, don't go ahead and do yourself. Just do it under the guidance.
Thakur has said in Yogi Guru, Thakur has said repeatedly, do not practice it by yourself. You need to come to somebody who is expert in it so that you can learn from them.
Thakurjee also said that Thakur told same thing. Just for your knowledge, you just go through this. Don't practice. What I have given the simple sadhana, do it. Okay, so now we are just we are going to close all the things now, all the discussions. Now next step is Priyavandam and Devashish Bhai just put the questions for today, questions for the answers. Now all kids are ready, so they are anxious to scan.
Today it was expected to get so many questions because the topic was like that.
No, because the topic was like that. No, I was also expecting because so many questions will come. It came very lately, but questions came. Very nice questions came, and also Gyanavai cleared everything. Now 1 minute more.
Bhai, we have started getting responses.
Started, eh?
Yeah.
Same thing Devashish can also do. He can send in that group also. So slowly they'll scan and they'll do it.
Kunai has joined.
Jayaguru Bhai Mata. I was on and off on the YouTube as soon as I landed. So
Okay.
long discussion, complex discussion, I was really enjoying.
Today so many questions was there. This topic was so many
In a
questions.
way, I was thinking there's a substitute teacher today, so the questions will be short and the answer will be short, will be done before time. But what do I know?
Not to go word by word, each and everything, it takes time. And I
It
was
takes time, that's
listening.
fine.
Yeah,
As
you were explaining.
long as our young are joining and learning something about Thakura and we are trying to help them, it's all good.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Yeah. It will require actually. Okay. So now we'll close the session today. So as per, because tomorrow is Saturday and Sunday, so we allow to go for ashram seva, all the things. So we don't have this other session for these 2 days. So again we'll start on Monday or 15th. 15th session will start on Monday. So waiting for all of you to join on Monday. Jayaguru.
Jayaguru.